Sometimes in Terraria, we want to make some better looking bases, but we really can't come up with other ideas but noob cubes and NPC prisons. But luckily in this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to turn bases like this into this. How's it going, crew? This is Happy Days, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 tips and tricks to make your worlds look more interesting in Terraria. Also, if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I'll show you how you can get involved in this series. With that said, let's get started. For our first tip today, I'm going to show you how to make your own custom waterfalls in Terraria. Now, traditionally, most people use the waterfall tiles to create their waterfalls, but they are a little bit limited. Because they are a wall tile, there's only so much you can do with them, and they do have this sort of square design to them, which is not always great when you're trying to work with a liquid. Now, if you want to create your own custom waterfalls, all you need is a sort of U shape to contain the liquid that you want to use. And all you want to do is hammer the bottom block one time, and you'll actually see this amazing waterfall effect appear from the blocks. It looks awesome, and you can actually walk behind the liquid, which is really cool indeed. Now, you can use it with more viscous liquids like lava and honey, but as you can see, guys, it will not flow quite as far. And we've got the traveling merchant here. That'll be right during a video. Yeah, nice one, merchant. You can also do it with honey if you're trying to make a beehive base, but as you can see, this flows even shorter than the lava. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what can I actually do with this? Well, you can actually create some really cool fountains using this liquid trick. And as you can see, it has water flowing down the front and also down the sides. Now, if you want to know how to flow the water off the sides, all you need to do is take a full block like that and hammer it once, and the liquid will actually flow down the sides. And you can even add a little sign to your fountain if you want to. For our next tip, we're going to look at a really easy way to give a 3D appearance to houses in Terraria. Now, if you've ever tried this before, you no doubt have known that it is quite tricky to do, and I could actually dedicate a whole video to doing this. But what you want to do is start with a roughly 3D looking house, and then what I've actually done is actuated the back half of the house here. Now, if you're on mobile or console, you can use switches or timers to do this. I'm on PC, so I'm going to use an actuation rod. And the first thing we're going to do is just actuate the back half of the house here. And that's going to give it a bit of a shadowy appearance, and that will make it look a little bit 3D. Now, the other issue is, though, you can see the wall is still a brighter color. So what you want to do then is take a paint roller and a paint like gray. You sort of want to match it to the colors you're using, and then paint the back half of the house to match that slightly darker appearance that you're going for. So I'll just get those painted very quickly, and I'm being careful not to paint the front half of the house. There we go, just get that last little annoying bit. And then you can actually see we have that shadowy appearance on the back, whilst the front still looks nice and bright. It's a really cool tip to try, and I totally recommend you try it. If you've played Terraria for any amount of time, you know NPCs love to get themselves killed by enemies, especially when you really would rather they stay inside. A really easy way to get around this is to make a base defense for your doors and entryways into your base. And this is wired by using actuated blocks that will keep the bunnies in and the NPCs out. You can use this using day and night sensors if you're on PC, and you can also do it just with switches and actuated blocks on console and mobile. If you want to know how to do it, all you do is place 3 blocks in front of a door, you put some actuators on them, and then I'm using a grand design, but you can do this on mobile and console with timers. Then you just want to wire it like that, you put a switch down, and they'll actuate on and off like that. It's really useful, especially if you've got an event on, like the solar eclipse, and you'd rather your NPCs come inside and be safe. Get over here, Gunslinger, what are you doing? I've got to save you. So once he's inside, you can actuate your doors, and your NPCs should be nice and safe. At the start of this video, I created the illusion of going inside a building by using teleporters and a darkened area to replicate a door. This is really cool if you want to create things like a train station or a minecart hub, so when you go inside it, you actually appear in an area where you can go to various parts of your world, and it's simply linked by a teleporter. If you look on our map, you can actually see it's just underneath, and the 2 buildings are actually linked via a teleporter. This is really cool because in Terraria, when you do build, it is a bit hard because you can see everything in your base at the same time, whereas if you teleport to a new location, you can make an exterior building and an interior building quite easily. One of my favorite things to do in Terraria is make my own custom fishing biome so I can catch any of the fish I want simply by moving to different areas. Plus it looks really cool. But one thing I find a little bit annoying is it can take ages to build all these different areas. So what if you could do it all from the one spot? This can actually be done really easily with a design I created called a biome fishing box. Basically, all you need to do is put 200 blocks together of a type that can be corrupted, so basic stone is a really good block to use. Then you need a contaminator and the different sort of solutions that you want to change your biome to. So currently this is a hallowed biome, but say I want to catch some crimson fish. No, let's go corruption actually. I'll put the purple solution at the leftmost part of my inventory, spray all of the blocks, and as you can see, the water turns purple, the background has changed, and we're now in a corruption biome so I can catch those fish. Now say I want to change it back to the forest biome, I just get my green solution out, spray the blocks again, and then you can see the water has turned blue, and we're back to normal. Talking about custom biomes, one thing I love to do, rather than just build boring houses, I like to actually make biome bubbles, where you can actually create your own little ecosystem inside of a bubble. This is currently a jungle biome bubble, and I've actually made a video on this before, so I'll put a link on screen if you want to know how to build these. But essentially, all you do is Google the term pixel circle, and it'll show you how to build the actual design so it looks nice and symmetrical. Then you just need to fill it with a sufficient number of blocks to create that biome. So to make a jungle biome, you need 80 jungle blocks, so that's the grass and the little vines hanging down, and then you can decorate it how you want. This is really cool, but just a tip, make sure you separate the biome bubbles by about a screen or two, otherwise they're going to overlap and cancel each other out. For our last tip today, I wanted to make something for people that love to fight bosses in Terraria and want something cool to add to their arena. Now, if you've been on my channel for a while, no doubt you've seen me use these, and it's a design I created called a heart generator. And basically how they work is you have a mob spawning statue, a trap, and a timer. And you're really simple to wire up, you just connect them all together. To build them, all you need to do is make a 4-block wide base, you make a 5-block high sides, you close it in, put the trap there, and a statue of your choice. I like to use piranhas and crabs because they die really easily. Then you just need to wire it together. And you might be thinking, well, why do you make this? So what happens is, if you're damaged during a boss fight, and I'm just going to discord a lot to hurt myself, you turn these on, and what will happen is the traps kill the enemies over and over again. Now, if you have a heart reach potion, what will happen is occasionally these will spawn hearts, and you can see I'm actually being regenerated by the occasional heart spawned by these monsters. Now, this is a really good alternative to the nurse healing trick. Some people don't like to do it using auto pause in the nurse. They feel it's a bit cheap, so this is a really good alternative. So you still have to run around and fight the boss, but while you're fighting, you'll occasionally spawn hearts for yourself. I'd just like to take a moment to thank one of my amazing Patreon members, Dekrosna, who built one of the worlds featured in this video, and also one of our Discord members, Kachow, whose 3D house I featured in this video. If you'd like to get involved in this series, leave your build tips in the comments below, or come join our Discord server, which the link's in the description, and your ideas might be featured in the next video. Can you guys do me a favor? If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like this video. It'll help it get discovered by new members in our community. And here's the most important part as always, you all stay happy and I'll see you soon. This is Happy Days signing out. See ya!